There is a natural disaster exemption for voter ID. This is from North Carolina, a very important swing state, one of the 7. If the registered voter cannot produce the ID as required, the registered voter may cast a provisional ballot, so they'll allow them to vote without an ID. Now, there are exceptions to that. Let's see. America is assessing the damage from the hurricane, and people are paying attention to this very interesting provision of the law. From Jerry Cohen, he says there is a natural disaster exemption. To its new voter ID law for voters who are, quote, the victim of a natural disaster. So under federal disaster declaration, which is what we're going to look at, this exemption was designed for voters who may have lost their ID but require a provisional ballot. And so it's interesting, right? If it's a provisional ballot, it means that it kind of doesn't really count, probably, until they verify it. But you can now vote without ID in North Carolina. And so presumably, for the people that don't have IDs, that's a good thing. People who are actually citizens who are following the law, for the law that this is meant to impact. But we know how the Democrats work, right? There's COVID, and suddenly they're bringing in wheelbarrows full of votes. They're like, oh no, all these people were going to die if we couldn't have them come to the ballot box. So I had to go collect them for them, right? You understand how this works. So it feels like a little bit of a deja vu. Never let a crisis go to waste. Here's the rule. Now, requirement for photo ID, this is from North Carolina, very important swing state, one of the 7, says photo ID required to vote. Okay, when a registered voter presents a vote in person, the registered voter shall produce voter ID that contain a photograph of the registered voter, right? That's the standard law. Can be a driver's license, special ID card, passport, photo ID card, student ID card, employee ID card, driver's license from, okay, got it. Now, you verify it. After you verify the ID, which is great, we like ID. I like ID checks because we want our citizens to be the only ones voting. Now, a voter shall be permitted to vote unless it doesn't bear a reasonable resemblance, okay, how it works. So what happens if you don't have photo ID? Now, you get a provisional ballot now. If the registered voter cannot produce the ID as required, as they just detailed for us, because they've been taken out with a hurricane or you're a Democrat ballot collector or whatever, the registered voter may cast a provisional ballot that is counted only if they bring acceptable forms of photograph ID listed later, right? Now, so that sounds good. Of this subsection, no later than the end of business on the business day prior to the canvass of the County Board of Elections is provided under law. So, all right, so they do have to basically rectify this. So they'll allow them to vote without an ID. If they don't have an ID, we're not to the exception yet. So let's just say they show up to the ballot box, no hurricane. Hey, we need your ID for you to cast a vote. They pull it out. I don't have it. I don't have my ID. You don't have anything? No, I don't have anything. I forgot my whole wallet. Oh, well, I want to vote. Okay, well, we have to give you provisional because we can't. So go get your ID and then bring it back. Well, can you go home and get it and just bring it back now so we can give you a regular ballot? No, I can't. I'm out of time. I'm on my way to pick up the kids. And so, all right, here, I'll cast a provisional. All right, then, as long as they bring it back and confirm it, the state board shall provide them a provisional ballot due to the failure to provide photo ID on the deadline to return in order for the vote to be counted. Okay, so by the time they ultimately canvass the final counting of the vote, as long as you bring ID back, you're good. Now, there are exceptions to that. Let's see. The following exceptions are provided for a registered voter who does not produce an acceptable form of ID as required. So there could be a religious objection. If the registered voter does not produce an acceptable form of photograph ID, then they can cast a provisional ballot. All right, so religious objection. Now, what if there's a reasonable impediment? If a registered voter does not produce a form of photo ID because the registered voter suffers from a reasonable impediment, whatever that is, like, I don't know, having your house blown into oblivion, that prevents the registered voter from presenting photo ID, they may complete an affidavit under penalty of perjury at the voting place and affirm, right? So you don't need ID, you just fill out a form, that they are the same individual who personally appears, that they will cast a provisional ballot while voting in person, and that they suffer from a reasonable impediment that stops them from presenting photo ID. Now, the registered voter shall also complete a reasonable impediment declaration form, and upon completion of the affidavit, the registered voter may cast a provisional ballot. And then does that ballot need to be cured with photo ID later? That's the question, right? And I'm sure there'll be lawsuits from the Democrats that say, no, they don't. Just count that. Well, now let's see. Natural disaster. Let's see. If a registered voter does not produce an acceptable form of photo ID due to being a victim of a natural disaster occurring within 100 days before an election, ding, 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 that resulted in a disaster declaration by the president or the governor of this state, which I'm sure will happen or has happened. The registered voter may complete an affidavit under penalty of perjury at the voting place. So at the voting place, right? So you're not getting a mail-in is what it looks like. Affirm that the registered voter is the same individual who personally appears at the voting place, will cast the provisional ballot while voting in person, and 3, was a victim of a natural disaster occurring within 100 days of an election. Upon completion of the affidavit, then they may cast a provisional ballot. Let's continue on. Let's see how this works. But the reasonable impediment form, they say they shall adopt a declaration form. So really, I think could be either one of these. Like there's a natural disaster and we cannot get ID to you. The state board shall adopt a reasonable that includes the following: lack of transportation, disability, lack of birth certificate, work, family responsibilities, I guess are all reasonable impediments. That's pretty broad. Lost or stolen. Photo ID has not been received yet, or other reasonable impediment, which could be, I guess, virtually anything. So if the county board determines that they voted a provisional ballot only due to the inability to provide proof of ID and the required affidavit, they shall find that the provisional ballot is valid. There it is, right? Unless the county board has grounds to believe the affidavit is false. So that is what gives them the ability to then just have people vote without ID. As long as they fill out the form, then it's going to be considered valid based on a national emergency. And I have no question in my mind that there are many people who legitimately need to use this provision because their house got exploded by the weather. It's terrible. And there are going to be many others who didn't have that happen to them. So the purpose of this is to confirm the person presenting to vote is a registered voter. And there you go. So that's another thing that I'm sure is going to be exploited. So we're going to keep our eye on that. If I had to bet on it, I'd bet on it that we're going to see lawsuit and litigation, probably from Democracy Docket and Mark Elias, to make sure that this is interpreted very, very broadly so that any ballots without identification are counted. And it's going to be happening in North Carolina, a very important swing state. So very interesting to watch that.